We are now live. We are the Mad Scientists. I'm Mad Frankie down here. There's Violet Igor over there. And together we make the Mad Scientists. Woohoo!
We're all right. We're all right. It's okay.
There you go. Right.
It's been a long winter.
I have no idea what I'm doing today. But I wanted to show some books. And I've taken the masking fluid off here. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with that just at the moment. But I have other things to look at. And we can just do a bit of a play, whatever. Ooh, I just dropped all my paints on the floor. Thank goodness they're dry. Why don't I just show you these?
I'm reading the little blurb down there at that bottom circle. Art expert on TV's watercolor challenge. That must be on BBC
UK.
or something.
Yeah. It will be. Yep.
Yep.
But I like what he's produced. That is nice and loose, isn't it?
Yes. Yes. That's what I was talking about, silhouettes, and you don't have to get precise.
So, Italian Alps.
Yes.
Yeah. These are things done by other people. Classical landscape. Francis Oliver Finch. Seascape with shipping. William Callow. So he's talking about different eras. Then there's the more drawing tools things and so forth. And then we get into techniques, which is more what I'm interested in. Because everybody does the watercolors and things. And by this time, most people who are looking at these things have got them already. Or at least I have. And I wonder if that would have gone a bit out, because I moved backwards trying to find my tissues.
No. Your volume is actually still quite nice.
Oh,
I noticed that. Yeah, I couldn't tell. In the past, I would hear you fade out, but nope. Your microphone is picking up very nicely.
I'm very glad to hear it. So this is Sheppey Marshes. That's a place in the UK, Sheppey. What's this one? Again, Sheppey Marshes. But he's talking about different things like cobalt blue on textured paper has granulated to give depth to the surface. Plenty of water and an angled board have aided the process. And here he's scratching the paper with a blade, has roughened and exposed the fibres, making them absorb more paint, which then dries darker. And this talking about splattering with a brush, such as a toothbrush, to get a nice texture in your sand or mud, whichever it would be. And dampened paint will lift off easily after a few moments, but not after quite a while, as I discovered. Scratching with a blade has a direct way of putting the white of breaking spray into this example. If you do not damage the paper too much, you can reintroduce colour into scratches. Polishing a wash on rough paper with medium sandpaper, that bit, gives an effect of sparkly light as the texture of the paper is revealed. So he's talking about all these different techniques and things. He's talking about grease will resist watercolor paint, but consider the long-term effects on the paper. And here it was applied with petroleum jelly on the fingers. So yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things here. And then he gets on into looking for inspiration. Is it he? It is. I'm on he, aren't I? Yes. Mike Chaplin with Diana Vowles. I wonder who Diana Vowles is. So this is Cordon Distillery, Barcelona. Very shiny floor. The complexity of the woven baskets and the glowing floor reflections offered a temptation to overwork, which I hope I resisted. Looks pretty good to me. Sardines. Venice at night. I like that. Rather a lot of people. I would have drawn it with less people in. But that's because I prefer less people around. And that's dried seed heads. Onion seed heads. I thought it looked a bit allium-ish. York Minster detail. This is the tarpaulin and the window. It's divided into two entirely different objects. Made an interesting comparison in terms of design. Did it? Okay. I thought it looked quite nice. The plastic looks almost like sort of very wavy glass. That's nice. The Grand Canal, Venice. I love the colours of the water in that. Beautiful. So there's some interesting things in here, and yet they're still somewhat loose. This is a bit less loose than I like. That is very loose. I like that. I seem to like Impressionism, where things are, where the artist gives you an impression of what he's seen, or a feeling that she's felt while looking at it, you know, rather than a detailed, descriptive drawing or painting or whatever. All these sorts of things. That's lovely. That's got a very nice feel of the temperature there, isn't it? Look, it reminds me of the Parthenon. Where is it? Oh, doesn't say. Corinth. It does. Corinth. Big letters. Corinth.
I don't know where that is.
I thought it might be. Well, it's sort of Italy somewhere, isn't it? Corinth. It's around that sort of Mediterranean.
Oh, Corinth. Okay. All right. Yes.
I'm not entirely sure where it is, but it's somewhere around there. It looks a bit like Greek columns and things, doesn't it?
Greece. South Central Greece.
There you are, Greek columns. Well, Stygius. Now, I've heard that mentioned as a holiday destination or some of these holiday programs, but I've no idea where that is. It's somewhere sort of Mediterranean. Santa Maria della Salute interior. Oh, okay. Again, that's getting a bit too precise for me and too much. Too much. This is lovely. I like this. This is nice and loose and more ephemeral. That's beautiful. That's very ephemeral. That's a taxi cab bank. Well. It just shows what a difference it makes how you paint something. It says here, this was painted from a childhood memory. The warm area at the bottom has the intimate quality of a fuggy, smoky refuge for taxi drivers, set against the cool, austere ecclesiastical buildings beyond it. Yes, it's got exactly that vibe, and it's lovely. And this is gorgeous. I love this. This is with some oast houses in the background, but everything else is in greys and blues. And it was saying something about the oasts are little touches of hot, soft-edged colour glowing behind, and that little bit of heat makes all the rest go down a degree or two in coldness. It does, doesn't it? It really does. Makes everything else seem much cooler. But this is gorgeous. Steam engine. I mean, you know, you can see it's a steam engine, but only just. You know, because it's much more smoky and ephemeral. Lovely. I love this. That's what I want to do. I'm not going to get it with this. This is not that kind of thing. This one. It's not going to be that sort of thing at all. It's much too direct and in your face.
Right.
So I think if this one works the way I'm imaging it, talk about somebody with no images imaging it, the way that I'm thinking I want it, if it works that way, then I might do another one and try to make it more ephemeral, like the honesty was. Yeah. But I want to capture
like the honesty and like the one you did of the silhouettes in the rain.
Yeah, but more so. I mean, the honesty was much more hidden, wasn't it? It was much less in your face. That's going to be so in your face, though, those things. The fork storm. I must find a better name for it than fork storm, but these are lovely. too keen on that. It's too cluttered for me. That's nice.
That I like, yes.
Yeah, and that's quite nice because it's simple.
Mm-hmm.
Not so over the top. Colours are nice there, but again, there's rather a lot in it. The Charles Bridge Prague.
Well, you
Yeah.
only have to put in what you want to see.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying that I've been trying to find things.
Oh, I love these.
That had these. This is lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, these are yeah. They're shadowy to me. They're shadows of whatever's going on. So it's because
this is a sculpture, a statue of some bicyclists, and here are some bicyclists going round and round just in front of it. So it was a brilliant idea to sit and paint it hurriedly, and it's come out really nice in this monotonous, just in blues. I like that. And this is rather nice as well. It's less defined because I'm not sure what's going on, but there's water and there's sky and there's branches and trees. That much I can see.
It reminds me of a bit of a waterway where I used to go fishing.
Yeah, it has that feel, doesn't it? Indeed. That's quite nice, but again, it's too detailed. That's nice. It's less detailed. It's got this little train with the bulbous. I've seen a train like that. I've been to railways where a train like that was puffing up and down. Yes, I do like steam trains. Give me a gorgeous feeling being on those. Natural landscape, footpath at Delphi. Yeah.
That's fine. Just remove the people. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was.
The White Cliffs of Dover. That's where I go. But I know that's not it. That it doesn't.
It's cliffs. It doesn't say where in particular.
Right.
But yes, what I liked about it is that it explains it. It says, we are always told not to put the horizon halfway up the composition because it will divide it in two. Yeah? Here I've shown two studies that break this rule and make a strong point. The sky has such an effect on the landscape, particularly in the case of reflections, that the two elements often both fall within the same paint range. In these two paintings,
I get it.
The composition becomes complete because of the echoes of colour and tone between the land and the sky.
Well, if you look at one of your most recent watercolors, the sunset, except for the sunset, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Where your horizon is, and the way the colors are so close. I love that one.
Weather effects. Italian lakes, early morning. Lovely. I wonder if I could get up for something like that. Difficult getting up in the morning. Venice. Here, the light choppiness of mid-lagoon Venice has been summed up with small gestural marks from the brush. They were stabbed on the paper in an almost pointillist technique to echo the way that the little wavelets were stabbing at the surface. It's lovely. There's a lovely glow here in the buildings, and there's this beautiful light on the water. Beautiful. But, we won't go on with that one because there's lots in there, but I could spend ages just looking at that. And then we've got Jane Betteridge, Colours Unleashed. And these are pretty good too. I quite like these. There's some lovely things in here. Lovely stuff. We'll get through those bits and go on to the finding your subject. Lovely teasels. That's nice. That's nice and ephemeral. That's got a feel of the honesty, hasn't it? I quite like that. And there's bluebells.
That looks like bits
about salt and
bits of wheat or ryegrass or something.
Yeah, look, talking about plastic wrap, salt, tissue paper, beads, cotton shells, leaves, collage materials. So I'm not saying what it's of, but talking about what's in there. And there's a one somewhere. Storm brewing. I like that. That's lovely. That's the sort of thing that happens when you put the paint on the paper and you think, oh, that looks like that. That I like. This is nice. She's using something called scrim, which is some kind of rather like
Calligraphy.
muslin, very thin muslin, like cheesecloth, that kind of thing.
Oh,
Perhaps
okay.
even thinner. Yeah. And see how. Let me hold that up. Can you see? It's like knitting.
Yeah, very fine
Yeah.
mesh.
There's some more here. You can see that netting there. Lovely colours, lovely. Using it for a broken fence. I think it's brilliant. Using granulation medium. Now, there's things about granulation medium. It doesn't work so well with ordinary paints as it does with paints that are already granulating.
Great. Yep, that was the one
Yeah.
rule I remember. I don't if it was
Yeah.
you or somebody
It's
else that
gorgeous.
said it.
Well, I might have said it, but I got it out of a book. So which one, I don't know. These are just lovely, lovely, lovely things, and very ephemeral. Most of them. I mean, beautiful. Love this. All the salt, the seascape, and using a palette knife to spatter paint on. Brilliant. Looks to me as though somebody has put in some skeleton leaves in there. Yeah, some beads on there as well. But I think somebody's used skeleton leaves because I don't see how you could paint that brilliantly. I couldn't anyway. And that's nice. Using pumpkin seeds, I think it said. Yeah. If I use quite big seeds, such as pumpkin seeds, I stick them on with super glue and then paint. All add interest and an organic influence to the work. Try adding texture by gluing tissue paper on over the top of the seeds. When painting on top of the finished surface, the underlying seeds really show through to create attractive three-dimensional shapes. So, yeah. And that's lovely and ephemeral, isn't it? Lovely and loose. I think I like these looser things because it leaves more to the imagination of the viewer than giving them the picture already done, you know? That's nice. That's putting down cotton thread, and then that's what happened after it was removed. That's what it looks like after it's taken away. Interesting. Collaging a lemon. And this was quite nice. There was one in one of these books, I think in this Experimental Flowers and Watercolor and Blockley, which I'll get to in a minute, which there was no explanation of at all. And I was sort of, I wanted to know about that one. But there's a couple of pages been ripped out of the book. I don't know whether they were instructional pages or just the published on this date. Because sometimes the things in the front picture is never again mentioned.
Well, that one right there with the dandelions or whatever they are and the timepiece, that's a terrific collage of elements and colors.
Yeah. I use circular rounded shapes for this painting by using a printed paper of old clocks in the preparation stages. I established a relationship between the background and the dandelion clocks in the foreground. Tissue paper was added over the collage materials to give a crinkled effect before I began painting. And somewhere else in this book, she mentions using the honesty seeds as actual collage elements like that. So, and that's nice. Oh, this is what that other one was. That was a close-up of this. This is poppy field. So that must be some wheat in the foreground of the poppy field.
Yeah, like a ryegrass or bits of, I could see it more like a ryegrass, a grass that's been left to grow up to weed size.
Uh-huh. That's a close-up of it. That's what that is. That's a close-up of this.
Yep, I see the poppies now when you go back and look. I can distinguish them.
But that is obviously the wheat. It's just so close up you wouldn't really sure what it was. And those are poppies. So these are all quite interesting with different ideas for doing things. I mean, it looks like she's put plastic wrap only in these areas to get those areas to have that particular. And I've seen someone else, I don't know whether it was this book or one of the others, where someone used one piece of plastic wrap in the top and teased it into lines. So it created lines like field lines. And then the other piece was allowed to go a bit more crazy down the bottom. That was interesting to see it used two different ways in one piece. Quite clever. So I think what I'd like to do is try out the granulating medium, which I had on the desk but didn't actually use. Daffodils. I've never seen daffodils look so beautifully ephemeral. Lovely. Daffodils galore, daffodils galore.
Honesty.
Yeah, done that one. Pass that one. Oh, there was mention in one of these books of a grand emperor, which is actually one of the biggest mops you've ever seen. Marvelous. Umbelliferous flowers, lovely.
Queen Anne's lace or hemlock. That's what I
there's
always
loads. There's millions that could be. Parsley, parsley, or Queen Anne's lace.
That's what comes to mind. Or hemlock. They're both so similar.
Yep. Or giant hogweed, or loads of other things it could be. I can't think of any more at the moment. Tough. That's rather nice. Not my colour scheme, but rather nice. And yeah, I mean, there's all this sort of thing. So all of these books are just what I was thinking about. And I got them off World of Books. Secondhand, not very pricey. Some of them more pricey than others. Some of them sort of like this one, $3.50 or $2.50 or something. This is a nice one. We've got some lovely watercolor seas and skies in here. Jenny Morrison? No, Terry Harrison. I beg his pardon, I didn't read it. He's the one that now sells brushes. But in fact, I think I've got a couple of his brushes. Somewhere. Well, somewhere. There's me looking to see which one. I'm pretty sure I've seen the name on it. Anyway. So, seas and skies. Now, the two I did were just, straight, line in the middle, sky, sea, bit of beach, done. But I prefer the idea of these sort of things, where the sea is coming in at a slant, and there's other things there, like rocks, or like that one I saw where somebody did some, that one we were looking at that only showed a little bit and expected you to pay to see the rest of it with the big stone mounds in the lovely colours. Yeah? You remember those? They were sort of maroon and red and orange.
Yep.
Yeah. Lovely. Oh, our Grand Emperor. That's what I meant. Grand Emperor. I see. That looks quite a bit like that. Only I think mine's bigger. But that's only a mop. That's not a quill. A quill's got all these tightnesses around it of the metal. But yeah.
The one at the bottom right, that's the one I need to get. I don't have one I saw, I believe it was Denise Love or Karen Rice using one. And I went through my sables. I do not have that one.
It's called an oval wash here. I don't know why you're calling it a Grand Emperor Extra Large, but this is an oval wash because it is oval.
Mm-hmm.
Comes to a lovely point. And that's Nick Pro. I reckon you might be able to get hold of that, Nick Pro, because I got it in a set, but I'm pretty sure that it's available. Well, quite a few people in America talk about it. So that's a 3/4 inch, that one.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted a bigger one.
The thing is, if you get it made by somebody else, a 3/4 inch could be tiny because none of them relate to each other in different brands.
Yeah.
The brands only relate within the brand, the sizes. So there's with masking fluid. You see him putting the masking fluid on. That's something I find difficult because very often I don't remember to do that at the very beginning, and that's when you've got to do it. I only think about putting in birds a lot later, like almost at the last moment. So, painting reflections. Quite interesting with all the different things to do, but this is not really loose stuff so much, but that's quite good. That I like that. Not particularly loose again, a little bit, but not quite. I would have had a lot more spray in your face so you couldn't really see what you were looking at. Lovely, lovely colours. Sunset on the sea. Lovely. Very nice here. Now, did he get that by painting it in, by remembering that it was going to be there in the beginning? No, he did lose.
No, he right there. You could see it.
Yeah.
Right there, where you're above your finger.
There.
Yeah.
There's lifting colour out there. It's a bit late when you're lifting it out. You don't get such a clear white when you're lifting it out. But yeah, that can work. Lovely. Very nice end picture there, isn't it? But a lot too precise for my taste, I think, at the moment. Maybe I'll come back to that someday. But there we go. This is the one with the pages cut out. A couple of pages come out. I reckon it's the printing information, like it, date it was published and who by and all that kind of stuff is missing. So that's nice. And then look at that. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, that's
lovely. I don't think this is mentioned ever again.
This is what I could never do. It's just I'm not ready yet.
Well, it looks to me like somebody's put down those pieces of scrim again, and it's quite a big picture, so you only need to put little bits in the right areas. I don't know. I cannot say for sure. It could be almost anything. Now, these bits here look like little spots that have had salt, little table salt sized grains put down to create these, and then put in a little black bit in order to turn them into seed heads, which is a lovely idea. But I don't think it mentions anything about that. There are other things that could relate to it. You know, other pictures that look as if something similar has happened. But these are lovely colours, aren't they? See, there's some scrim there.
Yeah. Yeah, I like these little presentations.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It says here, scrim with coarsely applied gesso. I would have liked a bit more information about that. Glass bead gel, I think that's what that is. And oil pastel. Tissue paper? Possibly. Gesso with oil pastel or gold paint on top. And scrim with coarsely applied gesso. Yeah, there we go. Quite nice. A lot of pink. Huh. That's me being picky.
I think even with the book and the step-by-step techniques, I think I would still need a video.
Yeah, I think so, because there's a lot of these books, they say done with this and that, but not explaining how it was done with this and that. And what did you do with it? You put it on wet? Do you soak it in something first? You know, you need information. But I would like to do something like that with this, that sort of thing. I like that kind of textural, more more mixed media-y feel to it. But I'm not doing that at the moment. I'm doing watercolor. So let's keep our heads on. Yeah, maybe we can speed them up a bit.
I'm letting mine roll.
I like this because it's got that. I was enjoying reading about this because this is the Joys of Spring. Anne Blockley, used lemon yellow, choosing this color for its transparency. Many yellows have an opaque quality that would not be suitable for the fresh look that I wanted to develop. I used Indian yellow for the darker trumpets. The background was made from stripes and washes of Windsor violet and viridian. Is that stripes or strips? Stripes? I think it's stripes. I chose these colours as I had not used them for a long time, and I wanted to experiment with some complementary colours in order to accentuate the painting's vibrancy. I think it's worked out quite well, that one. This one, Mellow Yellows, she chose Indian yellow for the flowers, using it in dilute form for the petals and more strongly for the trumpet centres. And you can see how the tone is just the same. So it is, isn't it? This time I used brown madder and sepia acrylic ink in the background, which made a strong tonal contrast with the subject, but was also a harmonious colour combination. It is, isn't it? And then that one, it says, colour experiment. Before I begin any painting, I spend a long time experimenting with colour to find the best combinations for the task I've set myself. Yay. Well, that's why I wanted to do swatches before starting that spoons and forks. That's lovely, isn't it? Look at the softness of that. Lovely. Oh, that's nice. Very nice.
Oh, I love lilacs. Or
irises.
Irises, yes.
The lilac of the irises, yes.
I actually have a few out front that haven't died yet.
Oh.
They haven't been killed yet. Oh, that's nice. Daisies.
Yeah, that's a nice center for them. I'm not so fond of these yellow flowers. Oh, look. I had loads of these, loads and loads of hollyhocks growing all around the end of the house there. And you had to drive past them every time you came in. And they didn't survive. Have to plant some more. Although they self-seeded, you know, from the garden. I want to know about this one. Scarlet Moon. Dribbles and meandering stems lead the eye towards the sky where a red moon echoes the rounded shapes and colour of the poppies. Lovely. It looks to me like there's a lot of granulation going on in here. Quite a lot. Lovely. I definitely want to have a go with that granulating medium. Spending a long time on these books. Oh, I love that colour difference. Oh. Autumn and winter. There's something about oh, I missed it. Have I gone past? That's nice, though. That wasn't what I was looking for, but that is nice. Wintry teasels, frosty teasels. Yeah.
I like those. I like that.
This is what I was looking for. This.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is interesting. Vintage hogweed. The decorative elements of this painting are based on some 1950s patterns. The geometry of the design seemed to suit the shapes seen in the subject. The lines and circular patterns that I used to represent the seed heads were painted on top of a background with white gouache. That stands out really well, doesn't it? White gouache. And guess what I've got over here?
White gouache.
Yeah. I got a little handful of gouache paints from Hobbycraft the other day.
Again, that would be one I think I would like to try, but I'd need a video step by step. Somebody to hold my hand. I can't see it in my mind's eye how to do it. That one I love. That
Yes,
one I do
it's
love.
quite nice, isn't it?
Hmm.
Poppy field and nice and ephemeral. That's lovely. That's another nice one. I do really like dandelions, thistles, and things like that. And alliums that have that shape and that whiteness against a background. Perhaps I'll have to have a go with a dark background, let it dry, and then try with the gouache over the top and see what happens. But you can see it's quite a bit torn out here.
I've had great
Oh, there
luck
we go.
with used books from Amazon. I've never had, I mean, nothing that I can't deal with as far as a used book coming from them, from Goodreads or World Books or something like that. I'm always satisfied. So last week I did some watercolor. I tried your technique with plastic wrap and foil, and I showed the results. And I wasn't impressed with the. I was impressed by the Saran wrap, not the foil, and that's my fault because I didn't put enough color down, as you said. Um, but overall, it was just a practice. Overall, I didn't care for the final product. I liked what the Saran wrap did. I will come back and do both techniques again. But
Have you
I
got
took
any mixed media paper?
Well, I've got mixed media paper. What I'm going to show you though is that I took the one with Saran wrap, which was the more favorite of the two, and embellished. I embellished. So I will come back on camera with what I have, and you can see I've just been doodling. It's not meant to be a piece of art as a whole. It's meant to be just doodles, and I may cut up into ATCs.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. This is what I have.
I'm trying to get the right button.
I know you are.
Got it. There we go. I like that.
Well, it's just
You've
doodling.
got
Like
enough
I
black in
said,
there to make it stand out.
this is mixed media paper.
Uh-huh.
As I said, as a whole, it's not to be seen as a whole. Imagine blocks. There's a block for an
Yeah.
ATC. There's a
Yes.
block.
Yeah.
So I've just been pulling out. There's some Prismacolor watercolor on here. There's Micron number 10 and number 1 and number 3 markers, pens. There's white Posca pen in areas.
Yeah.
The white dots here, that's white Posca pen, which is
Yeah.
acrylic. So there's various media.
What are those blue and yellow pieces? Those, yes.
That is blue Posca pen with silver, which I don't think you could see well here, with a silver.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can when you do that. Absolutely.
Silver Posca pen.
Brilliant. Oh, really
Yeah.
shows it up.
So just pulling out different techniques. Like down here, I had some splatters, and so I outlined ragged outlines with a brown. Whoops, here we go. You're not being nice. I can get rid of you. I have the power. Well, it's going to be an issue. But anyway, this is what I did with it because, like I said, it was just a practice to see how the Saran wrap was going to leave marks.
Yeah.
And it's fairly buried now. There are areas like right here. That's marks from the Saran wrap.
Yeah, I thought I saw some up the top as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
up in there, there's marks from the Saran wrap.
Yep.
This
And
is salt. This is from
that's salt. Right.
right? There's marks from Saran wrap here that got, pushed back. You could see right there and right in there. So yeah, so it didn't have to be, even though I looked at it and went, ugh, you know, colors are wrong, not enough in certain areas for the saran wrap to be able to do its job well.
Yeah.
But I learned. That's what we
Uh-huh.
learned. And if you wouldn't remember, but I did this while you were on camera. So I did it in the background, kind of in a rush state, the original background here. And then this past week, I've just been doing the doodles. So, it could still, if there's something like this, like somebody has and they don't know what to do with it, you turn it into something like this.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, brilliant.
There's
I
always,
mean, I'm not keen on pink, but no. Other one underneath. That one really looks great. I was going to say I'm not keen on pink, but that really does have
right.
some power.
It was just throw down color. This is a lighter version,
Uh-huh.
more pastel. This is a little bit in your
Okay.
face of the
Yes,
colors,
lovely.
but this is a lighter version. And I
Uh-huh.
have these what they call like architect drawing.
Yeah. Geometry things. Yeah.
Thank you. And they're wonderful for mark making on things like this. So I pulled them out. I have a pile of them. So
Uh-huh.
you have different sizes and
Oh, I
whatnot.
like those curves one at the bottom. Yeah.
Isn't that nice? And I've used that. If you look up here on the circles and here,
Ah.
and then
Very
over here, this black and these right here are from on here, from one of these. So there are
good.
mostly it's squares or hexagons or
Yeah.
octagons, depending on what I had, or circles.
Yeah.
Even a few diamonds, here and there.
Mhm.
But in this one, something I hadn't done was to add a mark like that or this one here.
Yeah.
I was just playing. Like I said, I will block out and have ATC cards. So,
Yeah. Indeed.
but it's fun
Lovely.
stuff.
Yeah.
I have to dig up the one I did with foil, which is here. And actually, I think I'm backwards. I think this is the one with foil. This is the one I did with saran wrap.
All right. Is that mixed media paper?
This too is, hold the phone, I believe so. Oh no. This is 140-pound watercolor.
Uh-huh.
This is
Try
called,
the foil technique with mixed media paper, because mixed media paper allows the paint to sit on the surface more. So you may get more effect using the foil on that. I'm going to try that, but I've not got my mixed media paper in here. I don't think. I think I'd have to go and get it. Oh, wait a minute. What's that?
this is the foil. This is done on mixed media paper. But you very kindly pointed out that I didn't put enough color down to get a full effect. So I will come back and do this again. I will do it on the mixed media paper again, but I will put more, I will use different colors, more pigment, more wet. Because
No, my mixed media paper is not here. It must be in the other room, I think.
I felt like it was wet enough. It was just that, like you said, there isn't a lot of color
Pigment, yeah.
to have moved.
Stronger colours would be better, yeah.
But when you look at this, whoops, hit my camera. This is the saran.
It's working better in the areas where the colour is stronger, isn't it?
Yes. I went back and looked at that and go, she's right. By golly, she's right.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is with the saran wrap. I keep looking at this one going, I don't want to do this to it. I see a flower here. I see a flower here. I see a daffodil here, and I see.
Well, turn them into them.
And
give them stems, give them a bit more form, and there you go.
Yeah, I see actual products, images here, whereas here I just saw doodles.
Yes.
So, but I appreciate it because, like I said, this is a technique I saw you do last week, and I had to try it. And again, the saran wrap, this is on watercolor.
Well, I want to try the foil again, on possibly the saran wrap as well. But on the mixed media paper to see how much difference it makes, because what people have said about mixed media paper allowing the paint to sit on the surface more, not absorbing in as fast. And that would be interesting to see the effect.
It helps if you add the color, which again I did not do in here to give it the full effect, so you could see the full effect. So I think that's one lesson to learn, is to put enough color down, enough pigment. It has to be wet when you put the plastic and the foil down. It has to be wet. With your advice, I put a heavy book on top of it.
Yeah.
In addition, so that they would stay not dry and pull up, so they would stay there. That helped.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, though, is to make sure I have enough pigment down so that the mark making can do its thing. So that saran wrap.
So that's something for it to work on. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. It was a great experience, an experiment, and I'm going to do it again. And I think I'm with you. I think I'm going to go with mixed media paper and give that a shot, because that's one of each. I think I'll do 2.
There we are. I've got this one. Oh, I've got 2 now. Oh, that's just an acrylic. Different thing.
What do you have there? You have 169 pound. Oh, that's different.
Mixed media.
Right. But nice 169 pound. That's a good heavy weight. That's nice.
Yep. 250 grams. So I can use some of this.
Well, if you saw mine that I showed you a few minutes ago, mine buckled and warped because I didn't tape it down.
Yeah, I don't think you need to wet the paper. In fact, I saw something that said that you shouldn't wet the paper first. You should just put paint that's the brush that's loaded with pigment and some water.
Okay.
So I think I'll try that. But I want to cut this in half because it's too big to be used otherwise. I can do 2. Seeing as how I seem to want to keep it on the table. There we go. So there's one piece. And with the aid of a pair of scissorines, I can cut this one. Oh, by the way, you know my the Works All-in-One tool, and I got a new cutter blade that only came in pink. Yeah, with a blue board. Yeah, fine. So I very carefully pulled the blade out of the, well, I thought I was being careful, out of the dull blue one, broke the nib off, tip of the blade, and I thought, thank goodness it was the one I'd used. Managed to get the other one out of the pink one with, I actually used this, put the little blade into the place where the blade was and twisted it so as to make the plastic orifice slightly wider, and then I could, with a pair of pliers, pull the blade out whole, and it slotted quite nicely into the blue one, and then put the blue one back on the machine. It worked fine. So
the blade doesn't fall out?
No.
There you go.
But the pink holder, blade holder, rods up and down, but it just pops off. So it's not fitting it so well. So the blue holder is fitting it better. So there we go. So next time, as I've got one more extra, it came as a pack of 2 plates, right, with the little holders. So next time I can get that and pull the blade out and put it in the other one, as long as I don't go and break the blade in the process. Right. So I want to try out these colours. I also want to try out this colour. That one, and prop some of these because it might be better. So we'll need a fairly smallish paintbrush, possibly, just to try them out. And then we can try the paper out with foil. Where's the foil? Well, the foil's now in pieces. Where's the roll of foil? That's what I want to know. Because unless it's Christmas, you don't really use it much. It's cling film. There is the foil. Foil, foil, where are you? Come back.
It's over there.
It always is. I've got those pieces. What I haven't got is a whole flipping roll. Right. So let's get to it. We can try out some of those Roman smalls as well. Let's try this one. This one's called Ariel.
There's got to be what you said earlier. I'm processing that because you're going to use saran wrap or foil. You use a lot of paint, not a lot of water. I don't understand that, because without the water, how can the saran wrap or the foil move?
Well, you need some water. You just need don't need to wet the paper first.
Okay, well, in this case, then you need to move fast, because your schmalls dry fast, as do nibs.
Yeah. I want to get enough on there to make an effect. Right, that's enough of that one. Let's tidy that up. So what else have we got that might suit? That one might, and that one might. Let's wipe it off on here so I don't get too much in the water. I'll get a bigger piece of tissue. Well, I've got a nice big one. Bounty. It's a huge, great sheet. Oh, is it not Bounty? Plenty. Not something T. Plenty. Must be terribly, terribly good at soaking it up, so the advert says. I think it's the one with the fake Latino chap saying, "One sheet is plenty." So it is quite some water, but it's not as much as you'd get if you were just putting water on the paper first.
That's it. Just pour it out.
Yeah. I sometimes wonder if these metallic paints oughtn't to have a solid blue colour underneath and put the metallic colour on top. So that was our Vandil. Something like that. Still got some wetness to it, so I better hurry up with this. This is called Dory, this one. Right, that's enough of that. So we'll try those with some tin foil. Trying to create some runnels for it to wander off into. So, put that aside. Move those aside. Back up there. So let's try. I've got to make a new thingy for these. What do I mean by thingy? Well, what I mean is
A case to hold them.
no, a swatch card.
Oh,
I've got a case to hold them there.
well, it was a hit or miss with the thingy, with the word thingy. It could have been. It was a shot in the dark for me.
Oh, so that's why there was one more. I didn't put one on that one. See? No, it does stay there. Got this little magnet. Now, let's have some water on this one. This is ultramarine, intense ultramarine, Roman schmalzes. Now, this has got a lot of colour, hasn't it? And more intense pigment even than these.
That's quite a vibrant. That's a beautiful blue.
Isn't it? But I want to try that that has now walked off. Where'd it go? Good Lord. The thing was right in front of me. What have I done with it? Did you see what I did with the granulating thingy?
Yes, it's at the top, closer to your keyboard.
It was. It isn't now.
Well, that's where I last saw you set it down. Was up there.
Yeah, I did. That's where I last
Why
saw
you would
set
take
it down.
the desk? It's on the desk. It's right there in front of your face. You're just not seeing it. It's probably
Okay.
on the right side, about those right there.
That's where it was.
My Lord.
Right.
Oh my Lord. We're both batty today.
Yeah, this is taking a lot more drying, a lot more cleaning out. Better. Right, I don't want to put blue in there, do I? I don't like these kind of child-proof caps. Do you not like them at all? Let me pour a little bit in here. There we go. Then I won't contaminate it. Oh, that is working. Look at that. Good-o. Lovely.
I actually can see that. That blue is quite dark, but I can see it in the lighter areas where you've pulled up.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
I'm going to put the lid on here so I don't lose it again. Well, I suppose that will make any difference. Another bit of tin foil. Put some more hefty bits of water on top, like that. All right, that. And that one as well, I think. There we are. Now I'll just put some in between. So I want to try out also this, because I did get it out with the idea of being able to use it. Now, what do I think would be a close colour? That, possibly. Let's move these out of the way. There we go. Try that one. This is a very soft colour, this. Let's better get a nice bit of it on there.
It's kind of a sparkly turquoise, sparkly teal.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to work. I was thinking also of putting some on top of another colour. Because it seems to show its undercolour quite a lot, doesn't it? Which is much paler than the actual glitter colour. Rinsey outy brushy, good and proper. Till I get nothing but water. So, if I paint a little bit of this, let's remove that palette for now. Things a bit in the way. Water. Some of this colour here. Just to get a background colour. I think I can get quite a nice background colour. Right. Now, let's try this one with it. This one is Cilia. And again, I'm going to use the foil because I want to see what happens with that, and that'll be a good test, I think. Well, and I think that I should write down what I've done because I can just see with all this going on, I'm going to forget. I'd have to look back at the video.
Isn't that what the video's for?
True. I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, you know me so well.
Yeah. Still. Well, wrong one. And what was that one? That was that one. Which is Blue Pearl. Okay. And I used this one. Was that the first one or was that the first one? Oh, that's just ultramarine. Ariel, that's what I used. That's Ariel then. Funny that I didn't use that one. I didn't, did I? No, it's dry. Dory. I did use Dory. Did I do 2 lots on that one? I did. So that's Dory. It is having an effect. I can see it is.
Well, that's the first one you did.
Foil. Yeah, the foil is having an effect though. So we've got one more strip left we can do and a little gappy bit there. So what's we got here? We have got here Prussian blue. Let's try Prussian blue. Peel off the wax paper that's been protecting the top. And if I put something on top, I'll write that on top as well. So, Prussian blue first. Which is also quite an intense blue. So, stay there. Prussian blue. This is meant for the spoons. This is what I'm thinking of when I'm doing this. Not the forks, the spoons. Because the forks won't have any colour. Well, not this colour anyway. But spoons have got this intense blue, haven't they?
Very nice too. Well, it was because you were looking at the like that photo on your phone. You were looking. It had almost like a aged patina look.
It was also because when I was holding the forks, the spoons, up to take a photograph of them, my desktop up here, what you're looking at, the screen, had a blue intense background, and that reflected off the spoons, the bowls of the spoons, you see.
Yep.
So I wanted to capture that. So I'm only going halfway down with this, just stopping there. So that end bit there is going to be pure Prussian blue, and this is going to be the bit with this colour in it added. Just across to there. There we are. And that was Nigella. So I've got to write Nigella down. Nigella. Bit of foil. Running out of pots. Never mind. There we go. Oh, I should have put some over that. Dratty Felorius.
And when we finish, we're done because you can't move it.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. It's kind of.
Well, we're at an hour 21, and I've probably got 15, 20 minutes or so to edit, so we're good. So that's good.
Put a little bit more down, and I can get a bit more of the paint on there as well. Very jellyish, like molten jelly. Or maybe very thick custard. Blue custard, how's that?
Ew.
Well, it's exciting. Oh, I didn't put that one down either. A bit late, but right. Last piece of tinfoil. And there. And guess what? I shall have to use this as the flattener. Yes, I think that is it. Finish rinsing my brush. Well, I think that ultramarine from Roman Schmalz is particularly well named because it's called Ultramarine Intense. Though I dare say you can't see it because it wasn't focusing. Oh well, it is. Ho hum, there we go. That's enough of that.
Okay, so I will come back. I will
And
come
then we can
back
say
and we
bye-bye.
will fix the camera, and then we will
That's
say
the one I did granulating medium on, and then I didn't put this on. I think I should add a bit more granulating medium to it and put that on in a hurry.
that's right. No hurries, no hurries.
I
I
want to
thought
use it up. I'm not putting it
you
back in the
put
jar.
some. I swear you put some on there because.
I did. But then I didn't put the foil on, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean.
So I want to put some more dampness down there so as to get some movement.
Yeah. And you know, when I put my foil down, I crumbled mine up first. I don't know if that made a difference, but that's
no. I'm crumbling it on there because I want to get lines on there.
Yeah.
So I'm not crumbling it first, and
that might have
I
been
want to squash it down.
That might have been part of the process I could have done without. I will not crumble it first.
Okay. Don't know whether it will make any difference, but it's worth a try, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just
Absolutely.
finding other pots from other places. How about the salt pot? That's a nice hefty one. Yes.
He's in VR playing the room. Or I'm playing probably Mist because he finished the room.
Yeah. Yeah, probably Mist.
So I need to go in the VR and start my, but I want to finish this version, this app first. This is fun. This is fun. So thank you so much for saying so.
Okay. Cheers. You coming back?
Yep, I'm coming back. And too bad it's not a multiplayer game. We could go in there together and help each other out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better. I can see it better. Well, that fell upside down on it. I think it's solidified. Oh dear. Okay, folks. That's enough for now. We will say bye-bye. I'll move that out of the way so I can get up my thingy. In fact, I'll move that over there as well. That's better. That's better. So, it's very difficult with these bits in the way.
Bye-bye.
Here we go. We're ending.